Hello everyone, I'm Vin Ebenu here at the Point Borough EMS Squad with Captain Andy Welsh, and today we're discussing what it takes to be an EMT and first responder here in Ocean County. There are a lot of things over the course of a year. I'm sure you've got stories to tell about some things you've responded to or things you've responded to with your squad. What are some of the requirements to get started, to become an EMT? What kind of schooling do you have to go to? What kind of training do you have to have?
So basically how you start in most agencies, you volunteer or you sign an application to your local first aid squad, and then they're going to do a couple things. First, they're going to get you CPR certified, which is always very important, and then they're going to give you the opportunity to go to emergency medical technician school or academy, depending on which one you go to. In Ocean County, we have a couple options. We can either go to the Ocean County Fire Academy in Waretown, which is a 3 to 4 month program, 2 to 3 nights a week plus a couple weekends, or a new program they just developed at Jersey Shore Medical Center in Neptune, which is more of a 6-month, more advanced program, trying to incorporate a lot more things into it to keep you better educated on the street and make you a better responder.
Now, what are some of the differences between what an EMT or an EMS responder can do and what a paramedic can do? Are there a lot of similarities? Are there a lot of differences?
There are some similarities and there are some differences that are pretty significant to keep in mind. In Ocean County and in New Jersey, we have a 2-tier system, which is BLS, which is your volunteer EMTs, your municipal EMS agencies that you see around town, and ALS is your advanced life support or the paramedics, which are usually hospital-based. In Ocean County, we have the pleasure of utilizing Monarch, which is the Monmouth Ocean Hospital Corporation. There are some big differences, though. EMTs are basic. We do, CPR, splinting. There are some medications we can give to assist with diabetics, allergic reactions, some respiratory things. But overall, we're going to be there for more basic things. Advanced life support or the paramedics, they're going to come in. They can give more medications to assist with heart attack, stroke, things of that nature. But whenever you have an emergency in Ocean County, both the EMTs and paramedics are going to show up and work as a team to help make you feel better, your family feel better, and get you to the closest hospital as fast as we can.
Now, if somebody sees a couple different ambulances arrive at a house for maybe a smaller scale event or a bunch of ambulances at a larger scale call, how do you coordinate who has to respond to what and to whom with what you can do, or how to spread out the service?
So how it all starts is when you call 911 or your local police department or emergency phone number. The dispatcher is going to figure out what the type of call it is based on some criteria. That dispatcher is going to figure out how severe or how not severe that call is, and they're going to request the appropriate entity. If it's a severe call, you're going to get your local responders within your jurisdiction or your town, and then they're going to call over to Monarch to get the paramedics rolling that way to help assist you. If it's a smaller scale event, then they're just going to dispatch the ambulance for your town, and if the EMTs get there, they can always determine later if they want to request the paramedics to assist them.
Now, if they're both on the scene, do you have to coordinate what your squad would be able to do with the paramedics on scene?
Us and the paramedics have a great working relationship, just like most of the towns in Ocean County. When the paramedics get on scene, they become the higher medical authority, so we're going to see whatever they want to do. They're going to take control of the scene. We're going to assist them, and then that's how it's going to work. We're basically going to fall into their direction and assist them whatever they need to help the patient.
What are some of the challenges of being an EMT or just a first responder? Again, whether it's a smaller scale event or a larger scale event, a major car accident with casualties, a fatal accident somewhere, a fire, any kind of violence or gun violence anywhere. What are some of the challenges that go along with those calls and responding quickly and kind of keeping your composure?
Well, with anything in this line of work, you get to see a lot of things that are sometimes good and sometimes bad. You get to see the best of life and the worst of life, unfortunately. And you have to keep in mind that it does take a toll. A lot of Ocean County responders are volunteer, whether it be fire or EMS. There are some paid entities within the county, but most of the county at this point is volunteers. So our responders, especially here in Point Pleasant Borough or in the rest of the county, they have to get these things, obviously keep their composure, but they also understand that they still have lives and things they have to get back to on their own life. I know in our town, everybody here is a volunteer. We have everybody that are, we have nurses, we have funeral directors, we have teachers. All people have different walks of life and then have to come here, put on a different face, and then go back to their families or their jobs and pretend nothing ever really happened. So it does take its toll on everybody, but everyone knows how to do it. As time goes on, you get better at handling your feelings. Obviously, there's always ways to talk to people. We always encourage members and anybody in the public who, seen some tragic or, the pressing things, to always reach out and get help, and we always offer that to our members, and Ocean County is always very good with having those options available to everybody.
Is there something that works for you or something that you share with the rest of your squad about ways to go about keeping people calm, or especially if they're suffering from some kind of injury where they're not focusing on anything but the pain or the blood, that you can tell them that would help put them at ease or help them relax a little bit and, keep them calm while you attend to them?
What we always try to do is relate to them, ask them about their family, ask them about what's going on. Sometimes you just want to take the focus off what's actually going on right at that second. No one wants to hear about their broken leg, but if you talk about, hey, you're a BMX rider, I like riding bikes, tell me about riding bikes. I don't ride BMX stuff, maybe you can tell me about it, maybe you can tell me what you do for a living, things like that, just to try to keep them focused on something else as opposed to what's going on. We always try to distract a little bit.
We've talked about some of the challenges here, but what about some of the days where you feel like you really helped somebody out and that you made a difference in the community? You, one of the other EMTs on your squad, where it feels like a good day or a good moment, even in the midst of maybe responding to a tragic call or a major accident.
Well, like I said, everything kind of takes its toll, but when you save someone's life, you do CPR, and they come back a couple weeks later and come to the squad and say thank you. We have members that have delivered babies. We have members that have helped choking victims. We have members that have gone into flooding situations and helped get people out of the water. At the end of the day, all that makes it worth it. Everybody has tough times in their jobs and tough times in their life, and they have to say to themselves, like, why am I doing this to myself? But at the end of the day, every now and again you get those calls where you really realize you made a difference, you saved someone's life, you helped someone out, and even it doesn't have to be saving someone's life. Maybe you're just able to talk to someone and, connect with them and kind of make a bond that you share forever and things of that nature. And that's what makes it all worth it in the end.
When the call comes in, and depending on what it is, does the squad, once they're in the ambulance, put together a plan of action about what they're going to do when they get there, or do you guys prepare ahead of time for different calls about how you would respond to certain things?
Well, we train 2 to 3 times a month on certain things, so we always try to keep ourselves focused on what we're going to do. But when the call comes out, the senior EMT in the truck, as before they get there, is going to come up with a plan. If it's a respiratory, we're going to do this. If it's a choking, we're going to do that. If it's something more serious, like a car accident or CPR or something, very urgent, we're going to come up with a game plan before we get inside, because we want to be prepared when we walk in. When you call us, we have to be there to help fix your day or fix your problem. We can't come in and be confused and be just as upset as you are. We have to have ourselves put together so that you're getting the best care you possibly can.
What are some things about EMTs that you feel maybe most of the community may not know about what you guys can or can't do, or some things that you do but maybe people don't know about?
I think the biggest confusion with EMTs in New Jersey is I don't think people understand that there's 2 levels of emergency responders on the medical level. Like I said, you have the paramedics, which come from the hospital, and the EMTs that come from your municipality. And I think that's a big confusion. There's also a lot of different things in New Jersey that they're trying to pass. They're trying to make EMTs a little more advanced, give us a little more medication, give us a little more skill so we can help out, because there's a lot more EMTs compared to paramedics. But there's still a big, confusion between, towns and how we operate, as well as the state of New Jersey as a whole don't quite, I think, understand the residents, the difference between both sets of service and why you might see 2 ambulances, why you might see the EMTs and the paramedics. The EMTs can do great things. There's a lot of things we can do. There's a lot of things we can do to save your life and to assist you. But the paramedics are also an outstanding organization and agency that can do even more than we can to help fix things we can't. And I think that's a lot of confusion right now.
Do you have to go through special training in addition to whatever you do to become an EMT to drive the ambulance?
Yes, so we have at this squad, we have a driver training program that they have to go through. It's a couple weeks up to a month of training, which includes maps of the town. They have tests. They have to test all the trucks. They have to know where all the equipment is. And then we send them to an 8-hour CEVO course, which is a emergency vehicle operator course, where they learn some of the tips and tricks that they might not learn in-house here.
If somebody out there is thinking about becoming a first responder, an EMT, what would be your piece of advice about, or why they should become an EMT or a first responder? Whatever reason they are thinking about doing it for, or for however long they plan on doing it?
I think if you're interested in it, you should definitely talk to your local first aid squad in town. I think that those men and women are going to give you the best advice they can. Every first aid squad in Ocean County operates a little different. Everybody has a little different requirements. We have requirements that Point Pleasant Beach may not, that Lenoka Harbor may have different ones. But I think that getting to know these people and getting to give back to the community is a great thing. We have in this squad a lot of people who come from all walks of life that do all different things in their full-time jobs, and they come here and give back to the town, and that experience they have in life and in their other jobs actually makes it, I feel, a lot better giving back to the community because you can relate to people more. This is not all they do. You know, people here have wives and kids and everything else. They can relate to that kind of stuff. You know, people have jobs and mortgages and all those other things, and being able to come and give back to your community not only helps us out as a whole as an organization, helps your community out, but I think builds you as a person too to help make you a better person and understand life a little bit better, where sometimes I think we're a little sheltered.
What about for you personally? Why did you want to become a first responder, and what keeps you going now?
I joined here when I was 16 years old. When I was in high school, I wanted to give back, and Key Club wasn't really for me, so I thought this would be kind of a cool thing. And I've been here ever since. It helped get me my career that I have now, and it's been an awesome experience, and it's why I just keep coming back. I love this town, and I love giving back to it, and I think I'm very good at it, so that's why I come back and do it every day.
Captain Welsh, thanks for the time.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
That's Captain Andy Welsh here at the Point Borough EMS Squad on what it takes to be a EMT and a first responder here in Ocean County.